In our last class on Monday, I was showing you that I needed to capture the baseline snapshot for my server virtual machine. And that's because I was in Iowa and I was going to make some changes to get the network settings updated. And then I had problems connecting to my server with my own Windows admin center sitting on the same server. Does anyone remember this? I said,
Yes.
well, I'm going to troubleshoot this and then we will demonstrate some more concepts at the next class. Well, this is the coolest part of working with snapshots. So what do you see here? Which snapshot am I going to start the server with? The baseline? What does it show here?
Iowa Net.
Iowa Net. That's what I called it. So after I took the baseline snapshot, I started making changes to adapt to the network out in Iowa, and I started having problems. Well, good fortune and God's blessings, I'm back on St. Croix, right? So do I really need Iowa Net anymore?
I don't think you do, right? Because I
Not
mean,
really.
not
I mean, I'm
there.
not going to go back there. So my question to you is, which should I do to get it back to where the baseline was in St. Croix? Should I select this and delete? Or should I select this? Now, the current state was when I was attempting to go ahead and troubleshoot some things. I guess what I'd like to do is eliminate Iowa Net and just start here. That's what I really want to do. I want to start with the baseline. So I'm going to go ahead and take this snapshot and delete. I could even take no, I can't. I can't delete the current state. So when I shut down on Monday, I was in a bit of a scramble and I didn't take another snapshot, which means there were changes after Iowa Net. So what I can do is delete this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't need Iowa anymore. Okay. And what I'd like to do is restore the baseline. Does everybody see this?
Yes. Yes.
So the changes that I made, I want to completely remove those. I'm going to select baseline. So I deleted Iowa Net. I don't need it. I'm going to select this baseline and then hit restore. And it says you are about to restore a snapshot. You can create a snapshot of the current state first by checking the box below. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take this current state with some of the changes while I was troubleshooting. I was only doing that because I was in Iowa. Does that make sense? So I'm going to hit restore and I'm going to uncheck this because I do not want to retain any of the changes that were made since the baseline. I'll hit restore and in just a minute, I will have the baseline now. See how the status changed? Doesn't say changed anymore, does it? It says current state baseline. So I want to see if everything is still working like it was supposed to. I don't want to have to change all those things again. I'm going to go ahead and start mine in a detachable state because I'm still on a laptop, even though I'm connected to power. So I'm not starting my machine based on the latest set of changes I made in Iowa. I removed the Iowa snapshot. Then I said, restore the baseline. It said, do you want to include some changes or no? And I'm like, no, I don't. You remember everybody, I was in the hosts file? I was even in the host file, right? And what else did I change? Oh, I think I went into DNS. Does everybody remember I was in DNS?
Yeah. Yeah.
I added another network setting, 192.168.0. And I even entered some IP addresses. But if I go into the reverse lookups, oh, my 192.168.0 entries are gone because this predates, and that includes what's stored in the DNS cache. I don't even have to try to figure out. Let's see what happens when I go into hosts. If I go into hosts, gosh, I want to open up Notepad. And I think I want to make that on the, I want to pin that to the start. And I'll open this in administrator. Yeah, I've been noticing that this is flashing on other student machines too. It's kind of weird. Oh, Notepad should be open anytime now. So if I go into here to open and I look to see if my hosts file has changed, no, I don't have a new entry for 192.168.0. And that's good. Did I change my DNS on my host machine? Was I pointing to 0? I'm just asking the question. I'm going to go ahead and look at this information. What is my DNS machine? Oh, my DNS machine is back, right? 31. I'm sitting on 111. If this worked properly, my server should be sitting on 31. Where is my, there it is. I don't have a DHCP assigned address anymore. Just like I started, I have a static manual entry for 31. So what that means is that if I want to use WAC again, Windows Admin Center, I should be good to go, right? I mean, I should be able to just open this up and I won't have any problems because of the changes I made. And what I'd like to know is whether or not this version of the Windows Admin Center could I still connect to my machine using the login? Oh, everybody knows what this means, right?
Yeah.
You got to let those run. Oh, that's so pretty. It took a second, but after the extension catalogs updated, and maybe that update happened before, but when I rolled the snapshot back, it's going to load again. let me say that again. Maybe that extension catalog update was actually loaded on the Iowa net, right? So I think it was, I think we loaded some extensions, but now it's going ahead and fixing this. There we go. It's trying to find the PowerShell language mode of this computer. So that might be another update. If I click on settings, I should be able to get a simple graphical interface. It's going to let me do what I got to do. So I'm going to put in this administrator password again. I'm pretty sure I opened that correctly. So it's still updating extensions. I have a question for each of you. In our Blackboard assignment, did you have a chance to post additional credit by controlling the other machine with Windows Admin Center from the other screen? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about this part. Did anybody get a chance to do that part? Hello?
Yeah.
Is anybody with
Yeah.
me?
Already.
Connect one more time using the name of your server to connect. This is from the laptop, right? So I ask you to set up Windows Admin Center on the server. Then for the second part of the assignment, do it again, but this time do it on Windows 10 or Windows 11, your host, not your virtual machine, not the virtual machine, but your standard system, right? You should get the same result. So I should be able to open up mine and be able to connect and then be able to connect to my server through there. Here, let me do that just to see if that's changed. Okay, it's updated my extensions. Oh yeah, so now that those extensions have updated, it shows the settings. So sometimes there's a little bit of a glitch with updates, but that's the cool part. You don't have to try to find 6 different features and functions to change the settings. You can do it from your web browser with just one screen, right? I'm going to go ahead and sign off of this. Where am I? I'll just close this. Yeah, it was a little slow. It was asking me again. I can close this. I didn't make any changes. Oh. So this happens. I was working with another class this morning, and right before I started class, an update hit and it said, hey, I'm waiting on changing. And right before the CSC 243 class, I had a scramble on my hands. I had to reload everything and restart everything because that was running. So that's just a normal part of the routine, yeah? You can use Windows Admin Center to approve and load updates. So instead of going into 6 different screens, if you had Windows Admin Center and you had 6 different servers and 4 different workstations, you could just go straight in there. Now it's asking me for a prompt and a password. I'm going to cancel this. Should. So now it's getting wonky, and that's probably because I'm doing the update. That's loading. I'm going to let that continue to load. Let me see if I can pull up my server from my laptop. So from my laptop, if I start Windows Admin Center, I should be using the other weird port number. Does anybody remember what that's about? Does everybody see the icon? I think this was 6516. So if you do it on Windows 10 or you do it on Windows 11 on a client system, instead of using the other port, it's going to use this one. It's asking if I want to go ahead and do that. So it's going to go ahead and finish updating. Successfully updated the extension. I can update my laptop and my server at the same time from the same screen, just by clicking into it and then selecting update. So if I'm on here, the local host, there's an option to work updates, I think. Was it overview? I saw this on the screen. Apps and features. System properties. Oh, there's nothing listed there. Security. Protection history. No, that's the virus. Update. Don't tell me they changed it since last version of Windows Access Center. Well, maybe they have. All right. So what I'll do is stop sharing and ask you to share your screen. But before we do that, I'm on my laptop. I wanted to connect to my server. So I wanted to show you, this is my laptop. This is my server. Hopefully my server is finished loading the updates. No, not quite. So if I attempt this and it doesn't work, it may mean that the update has to clear. I'm gonna get into this. I want to try to connect to my server. When I do this, I'm not going to manage it by my host machine. I'm going to manage it with a different account. So I'm going to manage as, we'll use another account. I'll put in the account of the server. I will not check this box because if I do, it's gonna change it when I'm trying to get on this other machine. If my DNS and everything else is working properly, I should be able to connect. Now notice the difference here. What's the difference between this login account and this login account?
The difference between the two?
Yes.
Oh, it look. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, well, one is for your local machine, right? And the other one is for your server, right?
Yeah. And my local machine is called Zorg. Do you see the name of the system here? Like you do here?
No, I just see administrator.
Right. Believe it or not, if I have an administrator account on Zorg, Windows Admin Center will assume that, oh, he's talking about Zorg again. So I'll go ahead and try to connect, but if I'm not successful, it could either be the updates or it could be that I don't have lilu/administrator. So that's what I'll do right now. I'm going to try to connect to my server. Oh, look. Did it prompt me for my password? No. Didn't even prompt me for my password. Shows that it's the server operating system. I'm sitting on my laptop right now, not on my server. So I can connect to any of my machines through Windows Admin Center. Has anyone had time to work with the PowerShell options yet?
I mean, just as far as 3.2 is concerned, that's what I've done. Making sure those features were installed.
Okay, so you did get a chance to mess with it. That's good. All right. Well, at this point, what I'll do, let me see if the other machine is clear. So it says it's still downloading the cumulative update. I'll leave my virtual machine alone. I'll go ahead and close Windows Admin Center. And I'll stop sharing my screen. Who's interested in logging additional credit?
I'm just trying to get my virtual machine up right now so that I can actually access it through the Windows Admin Center.
Okay.
So it's loading right now. It's finishing loading right now.
Yeah, the last window I had up, the last screen I had up was my ability to connect with a machine without getting up and closing all my screens and walking across the hallway somewhere. Basically, I can work this with ease.
Also wondering, do I have to turn?
Come on, server. So it's installing. I should be able to reboot this thing shortly. Then I'll be able to control it from my laptop. Can everybody see the images that you need?
What do you mean for the assignment?
Yeah, for the 3.2 assignment, we have a folder called breadcrumbs. Are you able to
Oh yeah, yeah.
see
At least
them?
I was able to see the images there.
Right, so that's the image that you'd be seeing if you, okay, good. I'm glad they're legible. Sometimes they're not always legible. Um, the snapshot can be a little tricky if you didn't have a fixed disk size or a dedicated hard disk. And typically when students are having problems, it's because when they built the virtual machine, they didn't select the option to dedicate the disk space for the VDI, the virtual disk, when the operating system was installed. So for your solution, I'm going to post solution 3.3, and what you'll do, if you haven't set up a snapshot for extra credit, what you can do is take that up, because that's part of the solution for module 3. So I want you to be able to demonstrate what I just did. So I will go ahead and post that assignment now. Let me guess, I'm not sharing the screen anymore, am I? So I'll go ahead and post 3.3, the solution. And if you did not do extra credit in 3.1, you'll basically work a snapshot and a rollback for that. Would anyone care to share their screen to show me their own Windows Admin Center? Does anyone need any?
Sure, sure. I don't know what's
Okay.
going on. I feel like I'm back to square one where it doesn't want to connect again, even though when I did the assignment, I literally got it to connect. So you can see the screenshots that I took. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, let's troubleshoot that. When it comes to,
Wait, hold
when
on.
it,
Let me see. What is this?
sure.
Which? Oh yeah, this screen. Oh, sorry. I shared the wrong screen. Yeah. Um, Trying to connect again, and now it doesn't want to do it. Let me see something. Uh, uh, I literally.
Yeah, hold on just a moment.
Do I always have to do this? Let me see.
says when RM cannot complete the action, verify that the specified computer name is valid, that the computer is accessible over the network, and that the firewall exception for when RM service is enabled. And also allows access from this computer. By default, the WinRM firewall exception for public profiles limits access to remote computers within the same local subnet. For more information. So that wouldn't be a bad reference to look at.
Yeah.
So here's the issue.
I feel like the problem is that I did enable on the virtual machine. I went in and I enabled WinRAM, and I'm checking the PowerShell right now again to make sure that it is on, and it says WinRAM service is already running on this computer because on this machine because it wasn't running before. I had to enable it, so I did.
Yeah,
it says WinRAM is already set up for remote management on this computer. So
yeah, but look at Bosch.
Huh?
All right, so you're entering Bosch / and then the name of the credential, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and do that again.
Which was this. Because this was mine. This is what I had to enter.
It's user account with no space.
Yeah, user account with no space. That's how I set it up. I am just. Let me make sure. Okay. Let me make sure I'm putting in right. Let's check. Let me just copy and paste this.
Now you can log in on that machine directly in VirtualBox, right? Like if you
wait, what do you mean?
Okay, so you think your McAfee could be doing something? It's highlighted on the taskbar. What is it saying?
Oh my goodness. Maybe it is. Because I just and I did turn it off last time and it worked. So maybe it turned. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I usually like when you're trying to do stuff and it isn't working, it's probably a good idea to uninstall McAfee and let Windows Defender work with it. But
turn on. Please turn on.
If everything is working, you don't have to do that.
Okay. Let's try again. If that's working. This is off too, just to make sure stuff is going. It's gonna be. Let's just make sure we can. Okay, yeah, so
you can ping knives from server. Can the server ping itself?
okay, let's try that. Let's say ping. Oh yeah, gosh. Looks like
I
it
want
did,
you
right?
to notice. I want you to notice something. What does it mean when there's double colons with a 1 there?
Is it using the IPv6?
Yeah, you got to disable IPv6. That can kind of muck with the things that are supposed to work very basically.
This is really weird. I swore I went in and I changed that.
I believe you.
This is like.
Now, one of the cool things you can do is you can take a snapshot of a system and then convert the snapshot into a new VM.
Let us see. I disable you. Yeah, it is disabled. So what's going on here?
I have a hunch. let's cancel that. Now let's go to your laptop.
Oh.
Is IPv6 disabled on your laptop, on your host?
It should be. Let's make sure of that too. But you remember, yeah, it is.
It is, okay.
Okay, you remember, oh my gosh. Well, like last week, I think it was last week. I don't think it was this. I believe it was last week, just before the Easter weekend. Remember, we set up this virtual machine as a DNS server so that I can access the internet from using the server as an access point. Now, over the weekend, I spent some time at another family member's house, and we had to use their Wi-Fi, but I couldn't connect. So I realized I was like, oh right, I was using the virtual machine as a DNS server.
Right.
So then I turned that off. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Why I'm getting
Yeah, it could be. If
do I
you use your virtual machine as your DNS server, it's gonna find it and connect to it a lot faster.
Okay. And I think that's what we're doing with this. I think that's what it was. You remember when we set it
Yeah,
up? That was what we did. Oh, okay. So I think I have to. Oh, okay. So I don't really quite remember the steps that we did that day to do that. Maybe that would fix the problem here, or at least allow me to remotely using Windows Admin Center remotely access the virtual machine.
yes. I would uninstall McAfee just for the time being and reload it.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Okay. So what should I do? Should we just wait to do that? Because I mean, we're almost done with class, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
We are done with class. James, did you have anything you wanted to share or any challenges? Okay. Well, this concludes our session for today. Please watch for the solution. And once again, you'll be taking a baseline snapshot, making some specific changes to your machine, taking another snapshot, and then rolling back to the original. And what you should have is a case where you can prove, see, I went through all this trouble to set these things up, and now it's as if I haven't touched it since last Friday. Well, good luck with it. And unless there were other questions or other concerns, I was planning on.
Well, oh no, I'll contact you tomorrow. I was gonna ask you about the assignment from 243, the 243.
Okay,
No, but I want to go over. I want to reread it again to make sure I
sure.
understand what we have to do. So I'll contact you tomorrow.
All right. Well, we'll see you next round. And if you see the study guide out there, the draft of the study guide, and especially if you see the solution, make sure that you get started with the solution. You basically walk through the same steps that you saw me demonstrate in class with snapshots.